cut. Picked up this RGT LC76 Rescuer off of AGTs. This is the version 1. They got a version 2 out. This one does not come with an interior and a driver figure. Version 2 comes with an interior and driver figure. Yeah. Anyways, this is a portal axle rig. So this comes with a Hobbywing WP1060. It's got remote locking front and rear diffs and a 2-speed trans, just like the TRX4 does. The shocks on it are 80mm shocks. Looking at the travel, it looks like I get about 2 tires, 2 1.9-inch tires stacked on top of each other, and maybe a half another one worth of articulation. This button here controls the front diff lock. This button here controls the rear diff lock. This button here controls the 2-speed transmission. There's your steering and throttle reverse switches, and dialing in endpoints right there. They give you approach and departure angle numbers. They give you height to the pumpkins, which is about 2.5 inches. 300 millimeters high, or 11.82 inches. Takes 4.7. It's running 4.72 inch tires. What else? Total length is 22.9 inches, or 582 millimeters. Wheelbase is 324 millimeters, or 12.76 inches. Track width. Track width is 248 millimeters, or 9.77 inches. So yeah, it's pretty cool to have there. And then here's some, 1/10 scale. The weight is, it's in kg. I'm in the USA, so everything would have to be converted over to pounds. Gear ratio 26.6 to 1, 54 to 1. 25 kg middle gear servo. It's got the WP1060 Hobbywing 60 amp ESC. Motor is the RC550 8520. I don't know what 8520 means, or what kV the motor is, or anyways. All the diffs are made of steel gears, probably more like sintered. 2S to 3S lipo. Tires feel really good and grippy. Hopefully it's not that bouncy rubber. I think once you add some weight on this thing, these will start to squish down a little bit. I'll have to get some of them Endura inserts for this dude. Maybe. I mean, they feel a little stiff, but not too stiff. Opening hood. There's the engine bay compartment. Comes with a really cool sticker sheet. So I guess I ain't even got to worry about getting no stickers. Mud flaps, a rear ladder, and I forget what these are called. It's not a gas tank, it's something else. Plus tax and shipping, I was a little over $400. The version 2 is $650 plus tax plus shipping, so you're going to be a little over $700 for the version 2. So it is wired up for front headlights, turn signals, and rear brake lights and turn signals. I didn't realize this was wired up for that. LED bar is still fake, and the little light pods on top are still fake. Alright, there she is, all lit up. For the headlights, where are we at? All the way forward turns the headlights on this switch. All the way back turns it off. Don't know. Oh, middle switch is a flash. On. Middle's flashing. All the way back is off. Let's see if we get turn signals. Turn signals work. Right. Left. Yeah, so reverse lights will work. This is low speed in the transmission. Yeah, it's touchy. Learning how to swim by getting thrown off a boat. And, yeah, listen. Cam's a trip, bro. First time I think he showed me his base after, I think, and he had like a fucking tires rubbing hard on the body. It's got heavy tire rubbage on the body. Yeah, there's a lot of trigger pull before the motor engages on the throttle. So it feels like I'm pulling the trigger like it's probably only like a heavy 1/8 of an inch, but it feels like I'm pulling it like a 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 an inch before the motor engages, and then it engages pretty hard. Hard to be accurate on the throttle trigger. And those tires are grinding hard into the body. So yeah, I'm not sure what to do about adjusting that. You don't want to have to trim shit away, but you might have to. I hate grindy tires on the body. So a couple things to note. I wish they had the straps, like one here and one here, because if you want to run a smaller pack, you know, you're not gonna. It doesn't really hold it in that well. So it would be nice even just to have one centered. I'm sure I could cut a hole in here and do it myself. But it would have been nice if they just had a. You probably could have got away with just one center strap. The tires rub hard on the body fenders. Yeah, they're digging hard on the body fenders themselves. Of course, these sit inside the body, and the body sits right down inside here, and it's hanging down into around here. I'm assuming you could probably tune some things with the Hobbywing 1060. The throttle control is horrible. I feel like I'm pulling the throttle between a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch, even though I'm probably only actually pulling it about 1/8 of an inch, but it feels like I'm pulling a lot before it actually engages. I don't know if that could be adjusted out. More than likely, this is going to get the Hobbywing SC1800. The servo felt okay. I guess for just a trail truck, it'd be all right. Probably wouldn't have to change it out. And that's what this is going to be, is a trail truck. I probably won't get into any real tough crawling, but you always end up getting into some pretty tough crawling out there on the trail. So more than likely the servo gets switched out. Oh, the other thing is, based on what I was running in low gear there, it felt like it was either it's geared too high, because I just felt like it was going too fast. But if I get it hooked up to like a radio link, if I get it hooked up to one of these, the smoothness of the throttle pull, and you know, with the Hobbywing S1800 SC, that'll probably all change. But in stock configuration, it feels like it's over geared as far as the pinion goes. Maybe you can go down a little bit on the pinion for low gear crawling. Then you know, you got a 2-speed trans. You can always kick it into high gear if you want to go faster. Other than that, it feels like a pretty good rig for what it is. Maybe down the road I should try 90mm shocks, get it up off these tires. I hate the idea of trimming the body, so we'll see what happens. Well, here's what happened. Got a little backstory on this rig. I ended up painting it, went over the black. I just painted the outside of the body. Black paint's still good underneath. I can remove the paint anytime. I did end up trimming the fenders, and I bought some automotive body trim. And after I cut the little flare on the fender out, I put some automotive body trim on it, so it looks pretty good. The backstory is this thing sat on the shelf for a year. The tire rub thing was bothering me bad, and I didn't want to trim it, but I ended up doing it. But because of that, it just ended up sitting on the shelf. Debated selling it. The tire rub is just really, really bad. The front fender snagged the tire. It would have tore the body up. I did try some smaller tires on there. They did still rub, and it looked really weird with because they made the wheel well look really big. Even before trimming the wheel wells on the front. So I decided not to go that route, and it ended up just sitting on the shelf. So I finally made the decision to trim the body. And then I was going to go out and run it, and then the rains hit. And we had rains for, God, almost 2 months straight here in Washington. But during the time it was sitting around for a year, I decided to paint it. And I don't know why. I was bored one day. Saw a can of paint sitting on the shelf. And I said, okay, let's go with this kind of reddish looking color. And pulled the decals off and painted it and put the decals back on. And then just before I ran it, I decided, I'm going to make this thing, give it some rust looks. But I'm horrible at doing the patina weathering thing. So I just hit it with some flat clear, and then I sprinkle some actual rust on it, and then I clear it again. But as far as the first run goes, I got it out for its first run here at the lake, and it kind of surprised me. I got it heavily loaded on the roof rack, so those shocks are pretty soft shocks as they are stock. So it's kind of squishy and wishy-washy side to side. And I loaded that roof rack up, and it's kind of hilarious. Any bit of a side angle on the thing just wants to roll. If you're trying to turn uphill on it, it just wants to roll. So it rolled quite a few times, but as far as its capabilities, it kind of surprised me. Very capable rig. I think I got I did throw in the Hobby Wing SC 1800 kV motor in it. I think I got the reverse backwards on it. It's got more speed in reverse than forward, and I didn't notice that till I was out there running it. I accidentally jabbed the reverse, and the reverse is on the throttle is sensitive. I hadn't dialed it in or anything, and I was doing a winch. I set the winch up on where the light switch is, and I just got the lights to where they automatically turn on. But I was doing a winch and had it all the way up, and I slipped on a rock and my finger hit the reverse, snapped the winch cable immediately. That's the second winch cable in 2 different runs on 2 different cars that I've snapped. But yeah, surprisingly, it handled really well. Unlike my FMS LC80, which I've broken 2 drive shafts now. This thing, it took it like a TRX4 would take it. It doesn't handle as well as a TRX4, but it handled pretty well for what it is. But yeah, I was pretty impressed with the vehicle today. Unfortunately, it was supposed to be an overcast day. I love filming on overcast days, and when I got up in the mountains there, the sun was out, and so it just killed a lot of the shots. Wintertime sun is not like summertime sun. In the summer, the sun's more directly over the top of you, so you're not casting long shadows. You can pretty much point the camera like in the direction of the sun, but because it's more above you, you're not going to have the sun blinding you in the lens. Wintertime, the sun lays low on the horizon, so even if you're facing away from the sun, you got your shadow, which is going to be on camera. You just can't escape that. And then, you know, if you have to point towards the sun, it just makes everything super contrasty and oversaturated. Okay, it just really kind of ruins the shots. But yeah, that's the backstory on the rig. Thanks for watching, and peace out, and RC for life.